her, it's not as easy
I
as
know.
it looks.
It makes it.
You make it look very easy.
and so then it helps you as a parent to appreciate I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You
Right.
don't realize how regularly Annabelle is until you holding her and how much uncontrollable movement she has.
And it's also you as the person here need to know what you're asking of her, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with Feldenkrais, is that, as Moshe would say, if you know what you're doing, you can do what you want, right? And so I know what my intention is that I'm wanting to do. So I'm finding some of the ways that I can bring her forward, slide her hand, get the connection between her pelvis and her rib cage and her legs and her arms. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And I look, where is a place in which she can actually come up from?
Mm-hmm.
There may be a place where I wanted to get her to come up to sitting, but that's not a place in which she can come from. Why do I know that? Because I've done enough of the awareness through movement lessons to know where are the places that is in our human development that we would come up from a sitting into a sitting position. Not if I was an acrobat in Cirque du Soleil. Where you go, how did they do that? So I'm not looking for how did they do that. I'm looking at how does nature do that.
Mm.
There. That's how nature does that. Some people go, oh, that center of gravity. That's just part of it. That's just a physiological or physical part. I want to also look into her whole being, of her as a developing human being. Again, that goes back to where we talk about in all of our old videos of working with old videos of a few months ago where we talk about respect, working in a respectful way. A developing being develops in an environment where there's respect. We grow in an environment where there's respect, or we grow better anyway. That's it. Yeah. La da 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 da. So I can make it quick movement. I can also go slow. So she opens her left hand, still keeps the right hand closed. Yeah. And seaweed in the roof of your mouth. You got a dark green coin stuck in the roof of your mouth. It's called seaweed. It's called seaweed.
So while we were up in Central California, we went past the doctor, it's in Santa Barbara, and we popped in to see her. And she's recommended we put Annabelle on, it's called luminol.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that they spray, like CSIs will spray, and then you put the luminous light on, and it like shows you where the blood is, or
right. Okay.
and supposedly this one doctor who's has got excellent results with this as a nose spray, and
To
it's
use that as a nose spray?
it passes the brain barrier.
But what does it do? It shows blood.
It's like 40 times more effective
as
than glutathione.
Really?
Yeah, we've been spraying
Yeah,
glutathione
for helping. What is
the oxidative,
and helps with methylation.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's 40 times more effective than the glutathione.
Wow.
So we haven't phoned this other doctor yet, but he's been doing like trials on and like actual tests on like patients and actually monitoring, monitoring them, and especially with the athetoid type.
And what's apatoid?
The athetoid is the uncontrollable movements.
Right. The kinetic movements.
Yeah. So he's been researching that, and she thinks that because we've got such good results with the glutathione, that we should try this on Annabelle. That there's nothing we can lose. There's no side effects supposedly.
Wow. Where are you going? That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
So from going from the all fours position.
From the what?
From the all fours position. It's quite funny because I think in reality she's trying to do the roll. Yeah. She didn't quite get it, but you could see that was her intention of like doing the roll. So she'd get into all fours and then flop forwards to try to do the roll.
But you know what? Seriously, when you watch a baby develop, they start with one thing, right? So it's the same thing. When they're here, right? And this happens, right?
Yeah.
So this is like, well, there's all kinds of stuff happening from here until all of a sudden, what? And then, but what does that do? It goes, right? So then there's, I don't know if you could see me, I'm up so close, but
yeah.
It's like, so they go, and then there's this rocking, and then all of a sudden, it propels us to go, it goes forward, so there's all of putting that together. So it's like one thing goes into another. So she may start with the idea of thinking, I like that feeling of rolling, and it brings her someplace else. And then she has success with it, and then she does it again and again and again.
Yep.
And then the repetition, right?
Yep.
Yep. And then comes the intention, then the intention is so tied in with that. Yes.